eating
live
a fish raw, and it was horrifying.
He's talking about some.
Wow, is that all she was eating, Carrie? Hi, Nick. How are you? How are you this
hey,
evening?
Greg.
Merry Christmas.
Hey there. Merry Christmas, folks. Happy holidays and all that jazz. Happy Hanukkah. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr. And, of course, Gregus Interruptus and La Redbeard and La Hoogly. Sorry, I didn't buy him now. The artist formerly known as Hoogly. Yeah, we're doing Christmas beers today. We're going to be doing Christmas beers this weekend, next week as part of our run up to Christmas, because technically this year happens on Christmas happens on a Wednesday, so we probably won't be live that night. So we're doing it next 2 weeks. That's it.
I'm down. I'll be around.
Who is with us tonight? We've got Redbeard. Of course, we have Jolly Red.
What's up?
Need to wear the uniform. Oh, not too much. How's it going tonight?
He's not Joe.
Maybe next week I'll get some flour and make my beard. Do
the reverse of the hockey. Fuck, my brain's not with it tonight.
The reverse of the hockey. Yeah.
Are you talking about when I dyed my hair green?
That's baseball.
Italian. Yeah. Well, like
I don't know if the reverse.
Just use bleach. Like Chris Peters bleach.
Okay, I'm just okay. Are we doing the beer right now and identifying? Because I just noticed something really interesting about my beer.
Okay, what's that?
Well, now we can't.
Are we doing it though? Do
it.
What beer do I have?
Do it.
Okay, I brought a can of Krampus.
Ooh.
Christmas ale. It's a barley wine by Sleeping Giant Brewing out of Thunder Bay. And I just noticed as we were talking right now, this entire spot on the bottom is a sticker. It's like they put a sticker over this part of the label because something
on there they don't want you to know about.
Something was different or something. I'm assuming the ABV.
Something
I want to peel this off.
Yeah, it might be ABV.
It's leftover cans from last year's run.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, didn't Highlander do it with they just put the sticker over their name or something? Am I remembering?
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. That was a good one. This is go ahead and continue on. This is going to take a minute. This is like
those stickers don't fuck
around on you. This is amazing.
We'll be circling back to see what your history is.
I need a razor blade.
All right, don't puncture the can.
This one done badly.
All right, Lee. Speaking of Lee, hi Lee.
Hello. How are you?
Not too bad. How's it going tonight there, Lee?
Not bad, I guess.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. What do you got with you?
Yeah, so the sort of winter seasonal that these guys do, this is Stillwell Brewing here in Nova Scotia. This is their 12 degrees Czech style amber lager. So, of course, the 12 degrees there is referring to degrees Plato. With the original gravity and all that shit, how they determine alcohol content. So, and keeping with the 12 degrees Plato, the alcohol content is a snug little 4.4% alcohol by volume, which fits right in the range there.
Snug? That just sounds funny.
Snug.
Oh, I did it.
So is that a dark or is it sort of like an amber? Isn't it? I think I saw you pour one.
It can range in color. You can call it a dark lager. You can call it an amber lager because it can get much lighter than what you're seeing right here. But yeah, it's a weird style. I'll get into it when I talk about it. But
not quite Pilsner, not quite Tomavi Pivo, or what do you call it?
I'll talk about
really dark chocolate. Anyway, yes,
we get into it.
They covered up the label with words that say the exact same thing.
What?
The little sticker I peeled off. It says 473 ml strong beer / beer fort, 7.6%.
Was it? I thought it was 7.5 on the sticker.
Nope, it's the same.
No?
7.6 both of them. Why the sticker?
Maybe someone just likes stickers. Maybe they had extra stickers they need to get rid of.
Okay, that's
maybe they had extra cans, so they just put a sticker on each one.
I don't know, but yeah,
maybe there's anyway.
Not what I expected. Sorry, keep going. I apologize.
Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Greg. Greg, hi, Greg.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Well, Greg either brings something spectacular or he hones it in. I'd say today's probably more of a phoned it in episode, but it is still something kind of cool because they just released it, and we're gonna find out if this year's version is good, and it is this year's GLB Apocalypse Later. It's a 10%
Ooh.
Imperial Black IPA.
We had that. We analed that at one point.
We have, but this is
And
this
it
year's
was-
version, so it's gonna be different.
Do they brew it differently every year?
There's batch variations.
So it might be. Okay.
Spoilers, I've already had a can of this. There might be some changes.
Okay.
All right.
Also, I got a new GLB glass. Look at this. Ooh.
Oh, pretty.
It's got hops
Have you,
on it.
Greg, have you seen the Kentucky Bastard this year? Seems to only be available in a gift pack.
I have not. Well, I think it is only in a gift pack. I have not. I actually wanted to pick up some, and no LCBOs near me have it. And
It
I
just
actually wanted
showed
to
up
see if I could
here.
even order it online because I needed an extra beer to go with the bourbon counties that didn't quite get to $50, and even online doesn't have it available. So,
LCBO has Bourbon County. You can order the store.
yep,
Or did?
you can still probably get it. I don't think they're sold out yet. You might be able to. They're about $25 a bottle.
Didn't know that. I might go.
The
Continue
variant
on, I'm
might
sorry.
be the variant might be sold out. I'm not sure, but the regular
Well,
Bourbon County is
They
definitely
had
still available.
a variant available as well of the
They did.
35 they make.
They have two.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and they're both last year's beers, so they've aged them for you. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's
Ooh.
bad. We'll find out.
All right. Thank you,
And
Greg.
because
All right.
because they're assholes, the two of them are $49.90. You stick them in a cart, so you need to buy a filler beer to get it to $50 if you want the free store delivery.
Nice.
Wow.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it's such a dick move.
All right, my turn. So my beer tonight is surprise, surprise. It's a beer from Big X. Ooh, it's I'm wearing. Actually, I'm wearing the shirt coincidentally because I've been like this shirt. This is a beer from Big X. It is a mint chocolate version of their Shakespeare Oatmeal Stout, 6% ABV, mint chocolate. Then look at the lab on the front of it. If I can.
Oh, that's what that is. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Isn't it cute?
Cute.
With a Santa hat. Oh, I forgot. I put my Santa hat on. There.
Now it's Christmas low.
That's I don't know if it's really that much better or not.
I mean, if you
Okay,
pull it
there we
down
go.
more over your face, it probably would be way better. But
Whoa!
But with the blast shield down, how am I supposed to fight?
I don't know. You look like Shorty LaFucktard.
Shorty LaForge.
Christ, wow.
Did you say Jordy LaFucktard?
Shorty LaFucktard.
I
All
couldn't
right.
think of anything. I couldn't think of anything Christmassy with LaForge.
So fucktard was the goat.
Yeah, it's like fucktard. There we go. That's a quick one.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's go back to Redbeard. Redbeard can fill us all in on what's his history with this particular beer. Well, I go ahead and pour mine.
I had a can of it a few days ago.
I had a can of it a few days ago.
And I've never seen it before, so I think this is the first year it's been released. So this is first sip of can number 2.
Oh, I want to show you while we're talking about the Krampus sale. I thought this was kind of cool. I looked it up on Untapped and saw this girl that her Untapped photo did like a Krampus teasing
Ooh.
thing. That's pretty cool.
You guys have seen the was it in Norway or something where they do the Krampus parade? And it's like some of the costumes they wear are just incredibly well done.
Oh yeah,
But-
that's like Dan's native land. He needs to move there.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, I will say the Krampus beer Dan sent me quite some time ago. There was I think that there's just the Imperial Stout version. And I think it's an eggnog stout.
Oh yeah.
And then also the like barrel aged version. I believe I've had both of them. And they are kind of a star. That New Level Brewing Company, if they were anywhere near me, that they would be my go-to. Like that's they make some fantastic shit.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. Let's go over to bring this back up. Go to Mr. Lee, who's going to fill us in on his history with this beer.
So it came out, I think, last month or maybe end of October. It showed up just as soon as the NSLC Christmas gift section showed up. And it was like, oh, something new from Stillwell. I'll definitely check that out because they don't really do too many different beers. Like they got a core range of like 5 beers or something that they kind of do, and then the idea that they do any seasonals just felt kind of crazy to me, actually. But the interesting about this beer is it's a weird Czech style that no one seems to actually know how it originated. It just sort of came to be, and people everywhere just sort of brewed it, and it just almost like appeared whole cloth out of nowhere. But it's codenamed the 12 Degrees of Christmas, our Czech style amber lager, or a Polotmave, which is basically Czechoslovakian for half dark lager. And apparently it's a style that can like vary quite a bit depending on where you get it in like Czechoslovakia or somewhere around there where it's more traditionally brewed. But it can hit on a bunch of different beer styles. Apparently it's got qualities of just a standard Pilsner or just a regular Czech lager. It's sort of got like, it can touch on that crispiness and like the noble hop character. It can also, because of the darker malt, it can apparently touch on the Vienna lager style a little bit. And it can also flirt with the English bitter style, because in some cases, apparently its hops can get quite spicy, and it can get some very earthy tones to it, depending on who brews it. Who brews it. So, yeah. New to me, and I definitely had to grab it up as soon as I saw it on the shelf, because Stillwell makes good beers. So I'm assuming they kind of made this like they do their other stuff, kind of within the sort of the designs of like the traditional brewing of this. So probably some sort of either all European ingredients or some sort of like closest equivalent that they can do with hops and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, that's my history with it. I bought it, and I've been buying it every time I've gone out to buy beer in the last couple months. Of course, I had that month off or whatever, but actually almost 2 months off. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to find out what the meaning of the word is. Like you said, it was Polotmave.
Yeah.
Because I know I've had a Tomave Pivot from like Grimross in New Brunswick makes one, which is a dark lager. So I've heard that name before, but never heard the amber version. That's kind of neat, like the what still does that though. Anyway, cool. All right, let's thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Greggy.
Oh, hello, Nick. How are you?
Oh, Greggy. Greggy.
Not too bad. I'm sure you have an extensive history with this beer. Yes.
Well, I have had it before. It is from a brewery called Great Lakes, Nick. I think you've had it before. I would actually want Kerry to try this brewery. They have a Mama beer he might enjoy.
You don't say.
Easy? But yeah, no, you should give it a shot. It might work.
I've heard of a Lake Effect beer. It's also pretty tasty.
I may actually have one of those in my fridge. Shockingly enough,
I might have 3 of them.
Wow, aren't you fancy? I may actually have 2. Definitely
what?
not 3.
And also some Haze Mamas. Ooh, I'm fancy.
I had a Haze Mama. I drank it yesterday.
Nice.
So now I have no more Haze Mama because I bought the GLB. I bought their. It wasn't bad. It was GLB got 12 of their assorted beers, basically just their turd shelf beers. It doesn't matter, but I like all their beers anyway, so it's a nice assortment of shit I don't normally buy. Plus, you got 2 glasses, which they charge $10 for glasses. I mean, probably not worth it, but hey, I could always use a few more tulips. So for $55, you got 12 beers and 2 glasses. I was like, all right, cool,
nice. They are a very solid. Like I can't think of any beer I've had from them that I was straight up like, ew. Like
it's rare that I find a legitimately bad beer from them. It's like, there's beers I prefer than like they're what I had their I think it was called their Burst. It was like their low alcohol. Well,
okay, no, I've had that
5% New England IPA. I wasn't super impressed with it. I definitely prefer the Haze Mama, but
it's still good for a letter ABV. Someone's getting a phone call again.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's. I think Nick's.
I can't use my phone, can I?
No,
is that what it is? That's fucking hilarious.
I'm on my phone trying to connect my camera.
It's some sort of It's
This is
some
fucked
sort
up.
of
My computer doesn't
interference.
do this.
Yeah, I wish
I used to-
GLB would do more barrel age stuff because they don't do it often, but when they do it, it's always
They don't
from
do
what
a
I've
lot
had,
of it, and that's
It's
I agree.
great.
I agree. That's disappointing. Yeah, for what it's worth, to help out the IT guy is I found I used to have an issue with speakers when I put the speakers too close to wireless devices, like my wireless mouse dongle. That made that noise. But anyway, you do you.
I think it's because my Wi-Fi was off.
No, you got too many tabs open on your phone.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
no,
could be
it's
a
not it.
problem.
No, I think what is going on is I had my Wi-Fi off on my phone because it was screwed. Like back when I was trying to figure out what was going on with Facebook earlier today. Anyway,
I like what Lee said. That was good.
I think what's going on is because it's going through my cell phone signal. Anyway, right.
Going through your phone.
Goddamn
Greg just sort of took off in the middle of this thing.
Yeah, I had to just change. I just opened the fireplace doors, so I didn't get too much smoke going in the wrong place. But anyways,
The one in the wrong hole.
2014
Fancy pants with his real fireplace.
Is that a fancy thing? I don't know what's a fancy thing anymore.
How is that fancy
I
now?
have a fireplace.
These days, especially these days, being in the city, having an actual fireplace, like being like on the outskirts, kind of like more like rural areas, like
Don't even have any trees.
even Nick, like having a fireplace. Like when I grew up, we had one, but we were like on the side of the highway. But like being in the city, having a fireplace,
That's fucked up.
these days I feel like is kind of.
Isn't it fucked up? How having a
little fancy. I don't know.
Isn't it fucked up how having a fireplace is fancy now?
Well, I
I think
feel
it's
around
awesome.
in our
I used to
neighborhood.
love having a fireplace.
I mean, our neighborhood, the houses were built in the 60s, 70s ish. So I think most of them do have a fireplace, whether or not, they still exist.
Well, I mean, like a lot these days, a lot of those fireplaces are probably like bricked off on the top and closed and like not just like, I'd assume. I don't know. Like, again, you're using yours. Maybe they are being used more often. I just know that a lot of places, just the cost and
you can usually tell if people have wood piles on the side of their house, they're using their fireplaces. There's actually 3 fireplaces in this house, but 2 of them were converted to gas many years ago.
Are you allowed?
So I only have one real one.
Are you allowed in your city to like have a backyard fire pit?
Yes, but it has to be enclosed like a chimenea type thing.
Okay,
so it can't be an open pit.
But still, like you can
right,
have. Somebody that has firewood on the side of their house might have it for
This
that
is
as
totally
well.
not related to the beer topic. So
yeah, I know, but Nick, we're
padding
out the episode.
I know, we're padding out the
fun.
episode, but
when the algorithm sees Nick's show, they're gonna be like, "Oh, look at all these 2-hour episodes."
Stop talking over me.
No, it's so much fun.
All right, so
I got you both. I got 2.
Before I start muting people, okay. All right. So let's keep this shit rolling. Thank you, Greg, for giving your extensive history. I didn't, you started.
I didn't give it.
You actually said your history before. Yeah. Speaking of which,
I didn't give it history. Anyways, I've had it a bunch. I've had it a bunch of times. Nick's mad now. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Well, we kind of knew you had an extensive history. We already know what that history is. If
Dan showed up. Holy fuck.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of which, let's go over to Dan now and ask him first. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Playing catch up. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. We'll go over what beers we got in a bit here, but what did you
I may have sucked the penis of a brewery in your area a little while ago.
Oh, cool. Oh, hang on a second here. Hang on. I got a light up here. 1 second. Hold on. May not be able to see it, but whatever. There we go. Light myself up. There we go. Now we're good.
I didn't see it change at all.
Shirt.
Oh, there's that. Okay, that's
okay.
I hope you spill beer on yourself during this. Short that out.
Jimmy C. Brandon, we'll get to your comments here in a moment.
Better. Okay, so where are we at here?
Talking about what beer you brought.
Okay, well, I had to figure out which beer because there's a few of them because it was out of the Phillips Rain Beer 8-pack. So I grabbed Rocket. It is a red rye Kolsch coming in at 5% alcohol by volume. And unfortunately, it's going to do this whole focus on me after I focus on it.
Red rye Kolsch. Rain beer.
So they've what they've done is they've made 8 different styles of beer, put it into an 8-pack, and this is one of them.
I like the gimmick.
Yeah, I do too.
Beers.
It's basically from the other side of the North Pole.
Oh,
so
I don't really have words. I
sounds interesting, actually.
It's Santa's B team.
It sounds interesting,
Nice.
but I expected Dan to show up with something like here, bam, Christmas ale. Like I don't know, just like I don't know.
That's you know what? I chose the two good ones that were out there. I've already reviewed them, so this is where I'm now going down.
You
the
know, you
list.
did again. I expected something like as soon as you showed your beer, I expected to be like, yeah, I'm going to be voting for Dan. But at this point, it's a Kolsch. I don't know.
There was a rice Japanese lager or a Japanese rice lager in there. There's something else, and there's
was there like the no like I figured you'd have at least one kind of. Again, I'm drinking a beer. This hasn't been brought around yet. But people need to tell Dan what beer.
Yeah,
they're
well,
having.
now that Dan's shown us his beer, let's go back around and show Dan what we have for drinking. Plus, it's a recap for anybody who's just started watching
Yeah,
recently. So,
I was just gonna
Terry,
say,
what do you got for beer?
I've randomly got a beer called Krampus.
which
is
Sleeping Giant.
It's a light barley wine, I'd say 7.6% from Sleeping Giant.
huh?
But we talked about the Krampus ale I've had from New Level during this, and
Yep.
yeah, there's a big write up on it too.
Okay.
Krampus barley wine is I have to do this. Fucking stupid.
Getting old. Getting
Age
old.
is fun. Here we go.
All right. Well, we'll get into this in a moment there, Carrie. We'll read that.
Okay.
Okay. So, Lee, what do you have for your beer again?
Okay, I have
can
from Stillwell here in Nova Scotia the 12 degrees Plato Czech style amber lager, which is their Christmas, I guess Christmas or winter seasonal at the very least, and it's a weird Czech style that no one seems to know where it originated from, called Polotmové, which means half dark lager in Czechoslovakian or whatever. So.
All right, let's go over to Greg. Greg can recap what he's got. I think Dan already knows what Greg's got. Anyway, that's it.
I'm gonna say it's got to be. Oh yeah. Okay.
Did you
No,
think it would
it's
be a
not
double
Double Tempest.
Tempest, Dan?
Yeah, I thought you were.
There's no
That's
double
next-
Tempest
that's
this year
next
yet. Maybe next week. We'll see. We'll see.
Here's
They haven't
the
announced.
thing. I don't think it's been brought up really. Like, is that really a Christmas beer though?
It's a Christmas
It's a
release.
Christmas release.
Ish. It's
You know, if
December
they played
release.
it, if they played it
we're
to
playing.
Christmas at Ground Zero by Weird Al, then yes, it can.
Mhm.
Can be.
All right,
That's a
and,
random reference.
Carrie's trying to get me
And-
kicked off the show.
and
No,
my beer.
just trying to discredit you, so I guess I win. I don't know.
Oh God! All right, so my beer, Shakespeare Chocolate Mint Stout. It's Big Axe's oatmeal stout, but with chocolate and mint added.
And
Um,
a Santa hat, so obviously
my-
Christmas.
My history with it is I've had their oatmeal stout numerous times. I even visited the brewery over the summer and bought some fresh at the brewery. Getting it fresh, even if it's been aged in the ANBL for a while, it's still pretty
You
tasty
almost said
oatmeal
LCBL.
stout. So it's going to be kind of exciting. Half spoilers, I'm already drinking some of it. It's somewhat exciting to try this with a new flavor twist on it. So
Yeah.
And what
It
is
was-
next? The way you're
So
the way you're the light,
now-
it's the can. Like you can't show the can again, please, if you don't mind. And next, okay, so so it's a dog with
It's a dog. Okay.
and, the
yeah, it's
mint
like a
leaves
black
or whatever
lab
it is.
something with a
The way the light was hitting it, I thought it was
chocolate
a Grinch.
lab with a Santa hat.
I thought
and
it was
a candy
Santa
cane.
and the Grinch or something for a second.
No,
but-
it's a chocolate lab.
I first thought it was a piece of shit before I clearly
I was
see it.
thinking it was Mr. Hanky. I thought it was Mr.
Yeah.
Hanky for a
That's what it
second.
kind of looked
Yeah.
like.
So
Look, I didn't go there, so maybe
Alrighty, so I'm gonna get into the comments here. We got Brandon saying, "Hey, how is everyone doing tonight?" Cheers, Brandon.
were you,
We're doing
Brandon?
fine. Jimmy C says, "Cheers, cheers, buddy."
Oh,
Sorry, we're slowly
Jimmy
getting the
C.
comments, and
Where's
now we're
Brandon?
opening it to
Why,
the panel.
why Brandon not join in?
Wonder, did he get a Christmas beer for tonight? I don't
'Cause he
think
has
he
to
had a
work
chance
tomorrow.
to stop at the liquor store, did you? 'Cause your
Yeah,
car's broke.
he's not even gonna call in sick tomorrow.
He doesn't drive it. He doesn't drive a Toyota, so
He's used his
his car's
sick days
busted.
already.
Wow,
Oh, man.
way to car
No.
shame him, Nick. That's
Oh no,
nice.
he's got a Honda that's usually pretty good.
Hey,
but it's-
Nick, did you
something broke
hear?
on it.
According to
I
Consumer
did hear-
Reports,
Consumer Distributed, yeah,
Subaru.
on the newest.
Subaru is
Subaru.
now apparently the most reliable car brand. Lexus and Toyota have dropped down a tier.
Suddenly Nick's car is just going to fall apart as he's
Consider-
I don't pay attention that much to the main chat. Chris hasn't been touting his Subaru-ness.
Man, it's not even cold today here. It's like above 10 degrees, and my dick has totally shrunk inside of my body right now.
These dick's a turtle.
Because you're getting old? No, that's me. Sorry.
Cars broke down for a couple of weeks. I got no Christmas beers. Yeah, the ignition on his car busted. Like the
well, Nick could have drove over a couple beers for you if he was a good friend.
Still don't believe it. Subaru is good, but I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, I told him about that at work. We both don't really believe it. Because, I mean, Subaru's been kind of somewhere down meddling in the bottom for years, and all of a sudden, #1! They must have paid a reviewer.
No, Nick, we stay on track on the beer, please? Like, you're really getting unfocused here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. So, Greg, why don't you talk about your beer then? Why don't you talk about your actual beer? How's that?
Would you like me to
Well,
talk
we
about
don't want
my
to
beer?
actually give spoilers on how it's drinking, but
I mean, it's drinking pretty quickly. So, I mean, for a 10% beer.
This is the opportunity for Kerry to start talking about his beer, the
I've got my glasses on. I can read this. I'm good to go.
Read us the story, Santa.
All
He's
right.
got his reading goggles on.
Krampus barley wine is a contemplative sipper after a long night of disciplining naughty children. Aromas of caramelized dark fruit, rich maltiness, and American oak, rich malt sweetness, and toffee notes finish with a pleasing alcohol warmth. Surprisingly balanced by just enough hop bitterness to drink while young or age longer to let the woody note mellow. Either way, Krampus is happier with a barley wine than cookies and milk. And, yeah.
That's a sort of woody quality to it. It's very
malted
woody.
barley, water, hops, yeast. What the fuck? Fenugreek? What?
Fentanyl? What?
Let this
What is
focus.
it called?
I've never seen this word before in my life.
I can't see it either because it's out of focus.
No, it'll happen. My camera has the lowest, stupidest autofocus ever. God damn you! I believe.
Still can't see it.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl. That's what I'm like.
I'm just gonna spell it. Fenu Greek. Fenugreek.
All one word.
It's a plant.
And then at the end of it is oak.
It's a herb that is similar to clover.
Okay.
All right.
It's just super random and weird. I've never seen that before. But
the seeds taste similar to maple syrup and used in foods and medicine.
I do gotta say though, like this is like I remember again go. I will say that Krampus beers that I've had from a new level. I think I had the original and the barrel aged one that you sent me.
Yep.
They were incredible, and I would put them above this. But this label, like he's like all like evil, and he's got the fucking like wheat in his hand and stuff. That's a really.
That's pretty cool. Is it like Krampus will whip the bad kids with reeds and shit?
I guess,
so
yes. And he's also got a beer in his other hand. Like that's just I
this
love
Krampus
that
approves.
That's great.
wow.
But
That's cool.
yeah, for it's a barley wine. I haven't drank a lot of them. It's
a barley wine. I hope you have a firecracker ready to go.
We kind of said the same thing at the same time, but in different ways. I like that. This is good. This is very tasty, roasty, deep kind of malty flavors. Some of that, like the stone fruit flavors and shit coming through. This is, and it says the alcohol warming. I'm getting 0 hint. It's 7.6. It's not fucking high ABV. This is like the super low end of what a barley wine could be. So, style, because of the low ABV, I want a barley wine to be like at least fucking 8, maybe 8. Give me, it's a barley wine.
I realize you're actually giving your rating right now, so I'm gonna.
Aren't we? I thought we were.
We're just shooting the shit, but if you want to get, I was thinking about getting a move on, but
well, I was talking about my beer.
Go ahead.
We're at half an hour now. I thought we were about there.
All right, we'll wrap this up. It's like a Christmas
okay,
present.
I don't mean to overrule you, kind of. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't mean it.
I would have full screened you if that was the case.
I didn't even. I wasn't even looking up there. I was looking over here for some reason. But yeah, for style, again, the ABV is a bit low for me, so I'm going to give this a 7.5. If it was a bit more punchy, I'd probably go like 8.5 or something like that. It's very tasty.
It's kind of weak.
Overall enjoyment, though, it's really tasty. I am going to go 8.25 for that. This is really tasty shit.
All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I thought I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all good.
Stop apologizing. You're not Brandon.
Yeah, stop
I love you.
apologizing. That's Brandon's job to apologize for everything. All right, Lee.
Sorry.
What's your thoughts on that Stillwell? How's that thing drinking?
Very well. I love it quite a bit, honestly. It kind of, so like I was saying, and Dan didn't really hear this part. He got here late, but when I was talking about what this kind of does, it's like it touches on a couple different styles. It's kind of like the ultimate in between Czech beer, because it can like sort of hit a bunch of different Czech styles all together. I guess in Czechoslovakia, really their beer, they don't really have styles so much. Like it's a weird system they have going on that I'm not 100% in on. But it's got like the best qualities of a Pilsner, where it drinks pretty light, it's pretty crisp and refreshing, and it's got that sort of noble hop character. There's a bit of that spicy noble hop character going on. It also drinks like a Vienna lager, in that you get those darker notes. You get like a kind of a toffee-ish and a bready kind of character from the malt. So those combine really well. And on top of that, it also kind of touches a British bitter in certain ways, where the bitterness at the end is not only got that like noble hops kind of spiciness, it's got a little bit of like earthiness as well going on. So it kind of reminds me of something that would like sit under the strength of like an ESB, like somewhere in between like a regular British bitter and an ESB. It's just a really interesting beer style. The fact that it touches on all three of those things, where I was reading on the style, and it's like, usually you'll get it like just being one of those things. But somehow Stillwell has like created a beer that is kind of like accompanied like the entire like range of what this style is supposedly can be. And I think it's pretty fucking impressive. Style-wise, I got to sit it at about an 8, though, just because I'm like, yes, Pilot Mauvais, I need more of them. I need more of them to like really properly judge, but this feels like this is a really impressive version of that. So I do sit it at an 8 for style. My own personal preference, 9. I love it. I think it's really, really good. It drinks really good. It's a style I've never had before that like recreates like 3 styles that I really love and puts them into one beer. So like what's not to like about this? It's just great.
Nice. Sounds tasty.
Huh.
Wow.
Well described, Mr. Russell.
All right. Hey, Lee, let's go over Greg.
Russell. The fuck
Greg, how's that apocalypse later drinking?
Lee Russell does the hustle. My favorite album. Anyways,
do the Russell.
Well, Jamie can gift that tomorrow. What Nick needs to do next time we burst into dance is just put us all on screen at different times so we can then make a proper gif of it. But anyways.
Yeah,
anyways, the moment has passed. Well, listen, Nick tries his best.
I mean, to be fair, BA101's moment passed like half a decade ago.
What?
I mean, ever since that old host
we're
left,
still building to our
over.
Climax. What are you talking about?
It's what is this, Tantra?
We're coming.
Wow.
We're coming eventually.
Yeah, I mean, we came a long time ago, and now we're all just the leftover fuck.
We're waiting for that second.
I was going to say crusty and old. That's just me, I guess.
Oh, the sock is old and crusty at this point.
We're waiting for Gatorade and a sandwich.
Fuck no, I want Gatorade in a sandwich. Or this is
Shit, why did I think of Metamucil all of a sudden? Oh, God.
Jesus. What? You use Metamucil when you're masturbating or did?
Jesus.
He likes that gritty. He likes that gritty orange feeling.
Listen, when Dan finishes, Dan wants to just drain all his fluids and solids at the same time. It's like an epic orgasm from all his holes.
Yeah.
One of those videos of a cow being like when they have a big abscess, they cut it open. It's like,
Wow.
Those videos are actually pretty satisfying.
God,
Anyways,
but
apocalypse
also
later.
horrifying and gross. I saw one on Reddit the other day. There's no NSFW, and I was like, oh God, no, I don't want to see that. I don't like that. It's gross.
And you click on it anyway.
It was just there. It was scrolling. It was just scrolling. It was there.
Go to popping. That's a good subreddit. If you
No,
like to see
no,
that type of
no.
stuff. Anyways, so apocalypse later. So there's two types of black IPAs, as far as I can tell. There's ones that are more.
I thought you were going to say the good ones and the bad ones.
Oh,
Well, actually, that is kind of what I'm saying. But
wow.
I'm saying that.
Okay, too far.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Nick. Your channel is now gone.
I have a dream that all black IPAs will be seen by the content of their taste and nothing.
Listen, nobody watched this show.
By
Kerry
the
could sing his culturally inappropriate song, and we'd be totally fine. Anyways, but there are
I know what song you're talking about.
there are the black IPAs that tend to be more stout focused, which I would consider the less desirables. And then in my opinion, some people may disagree. And then I would consider the ones that are more IPA with a little bit of stoutiness to them. And that is what I consider more desirable. And
do you think maybe some kind of segregation should happen between those kind of beers?
Okay, no.
I feel I mean, you know what?
I'm sorry.
Putting them into two different styles might not be a bad idea in all seriousness. But
I love you,
anyways,
Nick. I'm sorry.
Anyways.
We still Terrio-ing up this fucking chat. What's going on?
Yeah, he's Terrioing it up.
Carrie kind of broke you now. That's actually pretty
It's just like Jay Carrio over here.
Whoa! Damn, that's a burn.
Anyways,
line.
Anyways, the one thing I've liked about GLB is GLB has always been more on the IPA side, where it's kind of like it tastes like an IPA just with dark malt to it, but it's still very hoppy, very thing. Not this year. This year they seem to have blacked it up more, and it's more of a stout. So this to me is almost comes under maybe not a stout because it's not thick enough to be a stout, but maybe like a porter or like even like a higher ABV black IPA that's just more a little more hoppy than you'd expect from that style.
Repeat for the record, just again what they did to it.
I actually don't even remember what I said. I said they blacked it up. That's what I said.
It's funny.
Anyways, we're gonna get some great sound clips out of this. I hope. You're welcome, Jamie. So I gotta say, although I'm having no issues drinking this. I mean, it drinks super easy for a 10% beer. So I mean, if you were knocking these back, and nobody told you what ABV it was, it could fuck you up. It could be a very dangerous French beer, as the Guy fellow would say. Man, if you haven't seen that guy eat a burrito, you got to watch that video. That is something just watching.
Don't watch Guy eat anything.
No, it's pretty epic.
It's the weird porpoise noises he makes when he's eating shit.
Porpoise noises.
Well, let's just say you'll learn why his lady still stays with him, because he really gets in there. But anyways, so I'm a little disappointed personally. Although
he's having a baby again. Sorry.
Wow, that's a reverse baby. I don't have much more to say about this beer. To me, it's disappointing. It still drinks really easy. I like it, but just knowing if you just drank this on its own, it's not a bad black IPA, because frankly, I don't think most breweries, in my opinion, get black IPAs right. I think it's a really weird style, and I think they often don't know what usually it ends up being like, hey, here's a porter with a little bit of hoppiness to it, and it's like, okay, I just make me a porter next time. GLB typically does really well with this, and it's still better than most, but by GLB standards, I am disappointed by this. And this is my second can of it. The first one I drank like shortly after it was delivered to me, so I thought, okay, maybe I'll let this one sit in the fridge for a couple days and settle down, cool off, and it's again, it's not bad. I'm giving it an 8 and 8 on both. So I don't hate this by any means. But just to me, it's kind of just like this would be a 10 out of 10 beer for me in previous years. And it's not that. And, in previous years, I have bought a case of this because I like it so much. And this year I bought 4 and I'm not going to buy anymore. I'm good. I'm good with this. And, plus I also need to try to lose a little bit of this gut. I got to be healthy like Nick. So gotta work on this.
Jolly Christmas there.
I always like it better when they call it a Cascadian ale. That erases a lot. That erases a lot of blocks in your mind.
Because it's like dark ale with piney hops. I love those.
It erases your expectations for sure. Yeah. And
racist expectations.
Again, though, when Black IPA is done right, it can be so good.
I love a good black IPA, but it just doesn't seem to. First of all, there's not very many to begin with. Like, how many breweries make them? And then, usually when I get them, they're disappointed. And I haven't had the Bellwoods one in forever, but I've never been a big fan of their one either.
It was like a fad for a while in the 2000s, and then it dropped off big time because everyone decided, oh wait, most of these aren't all that good, and we don't like them.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a good black IPA since.
For me,
I don't think I've had a good black IPA since 2011. It's been a long time.
I've had one or two good ones since then, but for me, again, a good black IPA is kind of hard to come by. When you find one, it's like, oh my god, this is so good. For me at least.
And again, if you happen to, and I mean, looking at the group here, none of you would have access to this because, even if you were in Ontario, you couldn't get it unless you're in the GTA. But I would still tell you if you happen to come across this, I would still tell you to get it because it is a good black IPA.
How have they not figured out province-wide shipping by now?
I don't think it's a figuring out thing. I think it's a profit margin thing. I think a lot of breweries lose money on shipping.
Yeah, they don't want to do it.
Well, next time you're in there, ask somebody just so I can have some kind of clarification. Please.
You know what? If I'm in there, I will. Well, the problem is when I go to the retail store, it's just the retail store dudes there that are just doing stuff. If I actually see their social media guy who's sometimes there, he made some comments about my car last time that there was very rude. Told me it looked like the front of my car was missing. So he's trying to make me think I got into an accident. I was like, no, you're being rude, mister.
That's just the way the Corvette looks.
Anyway, I was
being a dick for the sake of being a dick. Greg, this is just like you.
Well, yeah, it's a car that suits me, right? But it overcompensates for a lot of things. But but if I see him, or heaven forbid I see the owner, because I do see the owner, he's often in the tap room sometimes enjoying some beer. So if I see them, I will ask them on behalf of you, Carrie, and I'll even give you credit for it. So if they say that's a stupid question, I'll be like, that's Carrie. Carrie, he's the one asking the stupid question. Not me.
If they shipped here without some kind of outrageous shipping cost, there's a good chance I would have had at least 2 fours.
I would highly suspect it's a profit thing. Like, for instance, Wellington, I like to get hop water from Wellington. So I ordered, they had 10% off. So, I figured, I'm going to stock up because they charge you for shipping, right? They charge you a $15 flat fee for shipping, but it's unlimited. So I just got 4 cases of hop water plus a bunch of other beers from them. And it was 3 heavy boxes. And I'm like, there's no way this didn't cost you more than $15 to ship. But they might lost money on me.
They through their shipping companies and stuff. They might have some kind of a deal going on. I don't know how that works, but for me, Sawdust City was my go-to, and my favorite brewery in the world for a little while, as you guys may know. And when COVID happened, they dropped their $100 free shipping shit, and now I'm like, I don't want to pay. If anything, I'll drive there, buy some beer, and come back. It'll probably cost me less than the shipping cost.
Yeah, it depends.
Bellwood still has the $100 free shipping thing, so they're still kind of my go-to, even though they are.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal for sure. But the way I look at it, if I'm getting something from Wellington, either I drive up to KW or I spend $15. I'd rather spend $15, have them deliver it to me. Because even when I do go to KW, it's usually a mountain bike. And usually by the time I'm done mountain biking, I'm exhausted. So I'm like, I don't feel like
halfway
across Kitchener.
How far are they from you?
It's about an hour.
Okay, so that's like about me going to Salt City kind of thing. So I don't know. Again, I feel like I'm going to pay less in gas. And
well, I also put a value on my time. So
for me, I love driving. I love just driving with my music on. So that's not really a and you're not a music guy. So yeah,
if it's something you enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I don't love driving. So I'm just like, no, if I have to go out there, I don't want to. So I only go out there if I have another reason. And it's not like even a convenient location to get to. You kind of have to go off the highway and into the city and stuff. So I'm just like,
no, that's fair enough. Like Salt City's right off the fucking highway on the way to Ravenhurst kind of thing, right there. But
which makes sense from a tourist point of view. It's easier for people to get to.
And it's funny that you don't like driving, but you've got a fucking pretty fancy driver's car in your
with very low mileage on it. So yeah, that probably tells you something.
So he likes showing off, not driving.
I drive a 2019 Camry SE, and like it's way more anything than my previous cars. Like it's got the the newest car. Every time I bought a car, I guess it's been the newest car I've ever had. But like this is a big step up from my 2010 Mazda 3 in terms of just everything. Like I'm sure too, during the summer before winter happened and stuff. I got winter tires on now, so I'm good.
That's often how summer goes.
But it's surprising. You never know. But some guy in a Dodge truck, I think it was being just a dick, weaving in and out and stuff and this and that. We ended up being at the lights on the bypass, and he's being all like rev. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Gary, you realize you're about to admit to a crime online, right?
No. All right, so before you incarcerate yourself, damn it, I was trying to move on.
Wait, but 2 seconds. Light went green, and I fucking floored it, and the speed limit on our bypass is 80.
And he ran over those teenagers.
God, they don't cross there. But anyway, like I kicked this guy's ass
unless you
to about 90, and it was like, I'm good.
Okay, good. We got a street racing charge for Carrie. I hope no cops are watching.
But again, is it street racing if you don't exceed the speed limit, really?
Yes, there's a charge called unnecessary display of acceleration. It's in the Highway Traffic Act.
Unnecessary display of
I may not have the wording correctly, but it's there's
that the way you just said it sounds like that's what it would be called. And I had no idea.
Street racing doesn't matter with the limit. If you're racing, you're racing.
Who would have known that they had laws for irrational, reckless drivers like you?
Whenever I'm on the highway, I generally like to get up to speed, like quick. My dad taught me way back in the day, like where I was like on the highway from Perry Sound where we lived, going to the main highway and afraid to make this turn. And he's like, you got to just go. So I just get up to speed as fast as you can to be on the highway because you don't want to slow other people down. So whenever I'm getting on the highway from a non-highway thing, like, especially if there's a merging lane, then you got time to do it. But if you're just like making a right-hand turn, left-hand turn onto the highway, going from nothing to 80, I try to do that pretty quickly.
Well, unless you're going like 200 or something, that's not going to get you a charge.
Well, again, like
it's more when you're at a light and you're gunning it from a light. Like if a cop's behind you, he sees that you're just fucking gunning it to either race the guy or get ahead of him. Yeah, will he charge you? Probably not.
Yeah,
but could he charge you? Yes, he could.
Yeah, I didn't even know the charge you just talked about. That and racing. Like I was totally racing that guy, but again, only up to the speed limit. You know, it was like
it's still racing. Even if you're going, if you're racing at a slow speed,
it made me think of the episode of Top Gear. There's episode of Top Gear where they're like racing on the highway and like, let's go like from this.
Oh yeah, that's a good role model.
Now, luckily, this entire story that Carrie told us took place in Mexico, so it was totally legal there, right?
Italy.
Carrie?
It was in Italy. It was good times.
He's just really talking about what happened on an episode of Top Gear, reliving it like it's something like he did or something. It's just it's just placing himself. It's like
I can't differentiate reality from fiction.
He is tall like Jeremy Clarkson. Maybe he'll have the pregnant belly one day.
I think Jeremy Clarkson's got me beat in the height department. I think.
Yeah, he's pretty tall. He's like 6'5" or something like that.
He's pretty huge. All right. So thank you, Greg.
I'm sorry. That went on for so long.
Move on.
I'm sorry.
Poor Dan had to sit here with his shirt causing a short circuit and burning through
I'm
his
sure
chest.
that shirt has a battery life and like
Perfectly fine over. No, sorry, I'm
You
shocked.
see
Hold on.
the smoke coming off of that shirt.
No, it's only a double battery. It's all good. I'm good. It's watch batteries.
It's only a double battery. That's $1 at the dollar store.
It is actually 3. Not that I went and bought the batteries, but come on. It's the most wonderful time for
the most wonderful time for a beer.
I haven't sang that in my 24 drunken days yet. God, I should really get on that. Good. Anyways.
Check that out on Dan's channel.
What makes now a better time than, say, an hour from now?
Well, I'm still wearing it, so it's still the most wonderful time for a beer.
It just keeps repeating itself over and over and over. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. It's like the song that never ends. Now that I have that stuck in your head.
On and on, my friend. People with the shirt on.
Thanks. You triggered fucking Mr. ADHD up there, and
I would apologize, Lee, but I just heard Carrie talk about cars, and I toned out for 25 minutes. So whatever.
He was talking with you of cars.
Oh, he was. Oh, I like I said, I toned out. Hey. That being said, Rocket. I should have chosen Goner because that actually would have been a cool one too. That was a dark mild.
Well, the beers look like they're the same, but not the same. The labels, it's interesting.
Yeah,
well, they're because reindeer because the theme is like B team of Santa's reindeer,
and Goner's got a skull beside his name.
Oh,
so.
Dark mild.
It was still being a mild, like what's
right?
I expect
most extreme beer style you could think of as dark mild.
Bourbon barrel aged, some kind of crazy shit.
We have 2 weeks of this. This is me just coming in on a false pretense. Who says I'm not going to come back next week and go, bam? There's a fucking barrel aged bitch of a beer.
So you're gonna purposefully lose this week to win next week?
Dan's playing the long con.
Who says he's losing?
Yeah, who says I'm losing?
I don't know.
I mean,
the beer sounds interesting, but I think I've seen something I find a bit more interesting personally.
So a Rocket Red Rye Kolsch, thank you for sharing that, is an interesting twist on the traditional Kolsch style. Incorporated rye malt and a touch of caramel and roasted malts to give it a unique flavor and color. The rye adds a subtle spice flavor, which complements the light fruity esters from the Kolsch yeast. So that description actually is pretty accurate. I'm not going to lie. I've been drinking this for the past, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever we're at now.
Been a while.
Mm-hmm. And it is a very, very easy drinking beer. The Kolsch style does come out in it, and the red rye does give it that sort of sweet but touch of the malt there, and it's actually, god damn, this is actually really good. For someone who likes red ales, this is sort of dialed back a bit from a red ale because of the Kolsch style, but it mixes in a way that actually works really well. Now people would say that's not quite a Christmas style beer, but fuck you, rain beer, it's Christmas. And it comes in an 8-pack, and they're all different rain beers, different styles of rain beers. But it's actually a really easy drinking, a really good style of beer that I actually would sit down and have while having basically my bacon wrapped chestnuts. And it actually goes quite hand in hand with it because you do have the nice saltiness from the chestnuts. And I do soak them in soy sauce, so you have extra saltiness.
Saltiness. You're a real soy boy.
You have this beer with it, and it's actually a really good pairing. That's exactly what I would pair it with. So for the style, it is gorgeous. I really do like it, and I'm saying this on a 5% beer. So please don't hunt me down for this. It for the style, I like it. It's a 9 for a style. Enjoyability, I'm putting it up there at a 8.75 because I really do enjoy it. It's going down, and I've pulled out the dark mild because I want to see exactly how I can follow this up with another beer that I feel would be a perfect chaser for it.
You know, like the way you describe that, like not being like, it might not be a Christmas style, but the whole pack you bought is Christmas themed. It's Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas certainly somebody who is taking a pee or something right now brought something that is just
No, I'm still in with my fire. I'm still here.
Just only released this month. That's yeah. Like personally, I mean, it still might be.
It's got a reindeer on it.
I want to try because like fuck, goddamn it! The first time I had that's a great beer.
I mean, if I went with I would have done this.
It's not a Christmas beer, I'd say.
Did you want it to say on the can, Mr. Christmas's Christmassy stouty Christmas beer?
No. Like Nick's has a random picture. The one I had was like Krampus. It's not like
mine's not got anything saying Christmas on it.
But yours is a weird lager or something.
I think mine's extremely Christmassy. Fuck you, Kerry.
Speaking of which,
technically it says 12 degrees of Christmas, but I mean, still.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, 12 degrees.
Mine literally has a pumpkin.
Greg
on it.
here's got a fucking Halloween pumpkin on the goddamn thing.
Yeah, so that's.
I mean, yeah, you're right because we got Sprocket the Saison, we've got Helga the Kvik IPA.
Nice.
Oh, you should have done that one.
We got Slaybill, the New Zealand Pills.
New Zealand.
That sounds kind of cool as well.
And we've got Masher, the Japanese rice lager.
Almost all of the ones you just showed us sound more interesting to me than the one you actually drank.
But I like my red ales, so that one is the one that I went to.
I like red ale as well. I've been looking at my phone and stuff and this and that through the thing. Red ale. Is it a hoppy red ale or just like a?
It's more malt, right? Because red ale is more of a malt forward.
Again, I've had some very hoppy red ales but yeah.
Yeah, those are modern red ales.
Yeah. So yeah, and just to say a couple of things. Sorry, Nick. I'm just going to do one more thing here. Lee, your beer 12 degrees reminded me of Daggerad's 12 degrees and 10 degrees, and they actually do kind of sort of like a German style beers with theirs over in BC. It's actually kind of interesting. And Greg, I don't know, pumpkin. I think you should be disqualified for that.
Yeah, probably.
And Carrie, you were talking about the Krampus. They actually made one this year called the Krampus Junior, which is a 6% one.
No, don't do that.
It was actually better and actually really well blended with what it was versus the regular Krampus and the barrel-aged Krampus.
I believe it's probably still tasty, but no, like Krampus, from what I know, is the beer you want to drink a couple of and get fucked up.
Oh, like,
keep that the way it is. Like, come on.
Some people like the taste.
Yeah. The barrel-aged one, like, Jesus Christ. That's, again, like, before you got here, I was basically saying if New Level was around me, I'd be going there daily probably.
All right, let's hear Nick's ratings for his.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
No worries. I'm just going to run off to grab some food.
For acknowledging it's my turn. See, it seems like people look forward to me the least and just keep talking. I'm kidding.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
Wow. They're not trying to be fast.
I need food. I'm hungry.
Super narcissistic over here. Holy Nick, Jesus.
No.
Yeah, have a bit lower opinion.
Like, I'm always last.
Fucking guy.
Speaking of,
you run the show. You can be first if you'd like. You know that, right?
I'm not that kind of guy. Speaking of last, this beer.
That was good.
This beer. We're saving the best for last. Actually, no, we're not, because we're saving the worst. This one comes in last place. No, this beer on paper, look, when I first poured it, it looked fucking amazing. It poured jet black, had a big mocha head on it. It looked gorgeous. I was looking forward to a beer that, you know, when I'm drinking it, like, okay, it's gonna be their awesome oatmeal stout. It's gonna have like chocolate. I mean, maybe like, could you picture a really good oatmeal stout and then with lots of chocolate added to it? And then they overdo it. The mint in this thing here is like peppermint, straight peppermint, which basically masks the fucking flavor on everything here. And all I am tasting is just this peppermint as I'm drinking the beer. It's almost like I've brushed my teeth and I'm having a stout.
Ah.
And I'm not a fan. I mean, there's like bits of chocolate. It's an easy drinking beer. It's smooth, creamy, but I feel like I just brushed my teeth and I'm drinking the beer. Like this is not the right kind of mint for this. So maybe a wintergreen might have been better, or maybe dial back the amount of mint that's in it, because this beer, I had so much high hopes on it, and maybe I shouldn't have when I saw the label say mint. But I just feel like, man, the mint flavor in this thing is just overpowering, and it ruins the beer for me. 6 I'm giving it 6 for style, 6 for overall. I know I'm not going to win this one, so I'm capitulating. This beer it's okay. But I mean, maybe next year, like what I would love to see is like, okay, well, go back to the drawing board, this big axe, if you're listening to me, which I know you're not. Get rid of the mint. Make it like a double chocolate or chocolate truffle or like turtles or something like that. Chocolate caramel. That, I mean, there's so much you could do with this thing that, like, it's not. I mean, this making it a holiday seasonal beer is a brilliant move, but mint does. I find mint doesn't often work in beer, or if it does, if you do put mint in beer, it has to be the right kind of mint, and it just not peppermint.
You just have to be next to the right thing too.
I mean, it sounds like just a matter of like dialing that mint back like a lot.
Yeah,
because if you just have a ghost of mint in it, then that's fine. That's a wintry drink right there. Chocolate and mint,
like
if
this tasted like an after 8, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. It just tastes like that weird, like, okay, you get that kind of flavor. Everything's masked by mint, and then you get this weird kind of almost like not like tannic kind of taste, but it's just weird resiny kind of off flavor of like the chocolate powder on the back of your tongue or something like that. It's just everything up front is fucking masked with mint. That's not like, it's just disappointing in that sense. It's not like it's overpowerful mint. It's just like there's hardly any flavor to this, and I know this beer better. Shakespeare Oatmeal Stout for Big Axe is pretty darn roasty and pretty darn chocolatey on its own. This is mint ruins it. It just straight up ruins it.
Maybe they should have turned it into a Cascadian dark ale.
Ooh,
it tastes more like a Cascadian. You know, hop the shit.
I want more beers from head brewer Russell.
Yeah, there we go.
Do the Russell. You're a gift for you. That's going to be a Jamie gift tomorrow. All right. That's my thought on that one. So I'm going to circle back around because it's that time to decide who wins tonight. And we're going to go with Carrie and say, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you have rather have had?
Even though he spoke badly about it, it would be the Great Lakes Brewing Apocalypse Laser. And even though it wasn't a Christmas beer, I still that is the one that was had tonight amongst us that I would like to try personally. So that's
all right. Thank you, Carrie. Let's go over to Lee. Lee, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you have rather have had?
Dan's sounds the most appealing to me. I've sort of last few years become a big Pilsner head and Kolsch head and any sort of like really well done version of that sort of like traditional kind of lager style from that region of Europe. I'm into, and just the sound of like, oh, and we added some rye into it to like spice it up a little and make it a little bit more interesting. It's like, okay, you got me. I'm sold. So yeah, I gotta go with Dan on this one. That one sounds really, really good, and I would definitely try that. So
Wow. All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Greg. Greg, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you rather have had?
I almost want to pick Nick's because I'm just so sad that Nick is so sad tonight. But I'm not going to pick Nick's. But I'm also not going to pick. Well, I'm not super enthused with any of these beers, to be honest. But I guess the one I'll have to go with, even though he's kind of a jerk for insulting my beer, is Carey, because he brought us barley wine, and and it's called Krampus, so it is Christmassy. You can't argue that it's not Christmassy. And it sounds good. I mean, I will say also for a barley wine, it seems kind of weak. Like I would think a barley wine 10+%, but try it.
When did I insult your beer?
You insulted the Christmassy of it and told me I should be disqualified, sir.
I know I didn't say you should be disqualified.
If Scott Myers was here, we'd have to make you a certificate.
Okay, I was agreeing with you when you said it. I was trying to discredit you. I was trying to fuck you.
You were trying to rig the vote. You're basically the Donald Trump of this chat.
You know what Carey looks and sounds like right now? The world's dumbest nerd.
I may have to go off the screen and murder myself.
Yeah, Carey, can you take off your glasses so you can be the prom queen?
Yeah.
No.
What? You're so fucking ugly though, right now.
The whole thing here, the blood's just pouring down. I am Carey. Go next. Fuck off. Go do it. Christ.
Carey.
I mean, Nick looks cool because Nick looks like a rapey Santa right now. That's cool.
He could definitely be the prom queen. Is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He would be the prom queen whether you want him to be or not.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, moving right along here. Let's go over to who's last, and is Dan. Dan might actually be the one picking the winner tonight. So, Dan, which one are you?
You know what? You're probably going to be picking the winner tonight because I mean, Greg sounds interesting. And yeah, a barley wine has to be 10% or above for me to really enjoy it.
Does it though?
Yours?
Like what how does that factor into your enjoyment? If you didn't know when you drank it,
there he is.
How would you know?
Were you the guy just shitting on a 6%
I'm just
Krampus?
Curious. The way he said that, I was curious. Like,
I do feel
Krampus has to be at least heavy duty for that. There we go.
ABV, and you've enjoyed it. Would it like the way you said that? That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't have chosen it unless it was 10%. Okay. Personally, a barley wine for me has to be 10% or above.
Again,
for me to really, and it has to be an American barley wine, not this British bullshit.
Would you know?
So
if someone gave you something unlabeled and said, "Here, have this barley wine," and it was 8%, you might love it.
I personally think I can tell the difference. Personally, I think I can tell the difference between 8% and 10%. If you gave me a blind taste test, I think I could.
Yeah,
maybe I can't, but I think I could.
I mean,
really, I don't know if I can. Depending on how well it's made, some high ABV beers can hide that shit so well. That's what I'm saying. The Dan's, it has to be at least 10%. That's a weird.
I had Dudicille's 10% winter solstice one, and man, of course, I had it when it was like fucking they bottled it in 2023, and it wasn't.
Well, I've obviously been proven wrong. Right there, everything. Just
I remember Severa was good. Anyway, go ahead.
And that's the thing is, this one wasn't.
I wasn't trying to like call it.
Really stuck on this one. We have to keep moving.
But I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Lee. I kind of want to try it.
What?
Yeah. What? You know what? I would have looked at the mint one, but you said the mint was overpowering. The chocolate really wasn't there, and everything else, and it kind of threw me off. Because I wanted to ask you one important question with that, and I didn't get a chance to. Was how was it compared to the cookies and corpse paint that you had?
Cookies and corpse paint was better.
And there we go. That's why.
You could actually tell it. I mean, it's been a while since I had that beer, but I remember.
You
that
remember it?
That's a new
Barely.
old beer. I also
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. So you remember it. So
Well,
I
you
mean, that's the
sipped it
thing.
to me, so yeah, it was interesting. Anyway,
So unfortunately, Nick, this is now up to you.
yeah, I know, and I've already decided what my my beer is. So we'll go over with my the options here. Apocalypse Later from Greg. I've had it. I'm sure it's different this year, but I'm not that. I don't care to try it. If Greg was making it sound. I want a second. Dan's thoughts on Carrie's beer. Sorry, Carrie, love you, but barley wines should be stronger than 7.6%.
Wow.
Dan's beer sounded really interesting. It's not often you see such a blend of styles like a red rye Kolsch. That's a weird one. But I have to admit, I'm going to give the win to Lee because I would love to try that Stillwell, even though it's only a province away. That actually sounds like a really solid. And you know, I've had beers from Stillwell before. They've been pretty fucking awesome. Like they make a really great Pilsner. So congratulations, Lee. You can pat yourself on the back. You're the winner this week with Stillwell's 12 Degrees of Christmas.
Nick, you took it like fucking applause thing.
Well, at least Lee's the one with the soundboard.
All
actually.
your erotic
Yeah, but
fantasies
if
can be
you're the host
fulfilled.
of the show. You should have one yourself. I'm saying. Like, Lee, applaud yourself. Applaud yourself. Come on.
That's the
You got one of
whole
those somewhere, right?
level.
You don't have a soundboard thing for applause somewhere?
I don't have applause on it right now, but I can tell
Oh.
you this, Gary.
Shut up, bitch!
Whoa.
Shut up, bitch.
All right, you bitch. All right, fuck you.
Oh, here comes the resident douchebag.
Oh,
Full of crap.
Oh,
You gotta be 14, baby.
Oh, wait, that doesn't apply.
whoa.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! We went
Wow.
dark on that one.
Ooh. How's Lee celebrating his victory tonight?
You gotta be 14, baby.
Gotta be 14.
I mean, that must have been an old Canadian thing because Canada used to have an age of consent to 14 up until what 15 years ago when they changed.
Yes,
Really?
Greg, thank you for
Oh,
pointing that out.
Oh.
I wanted to point that out.
14.
I believe it's
All right.
16 now, but so sorry, perverts. You got to go over the 16-year-olds.
Well, we'll have to give Carrie with his school book, his bookworm looking like penis.
Nerd.
Chris Peters killed those women, by the way.
Yeah, he's up
Say
to
it-
quite a
say it-
few
you
more
can
now.
say
He's
that
moved
2 times.
provinces.
Oh,
All
has
right.
he?
Yeah,
Oh.
What?
he's in your province now, dude.
What?
Gordon or
No, Chris Peters.
Oh, Chris Peters. Sorry, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the other
Lane?
one. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I know.
His-
Jordan's in
his-
Halifax.
his doppelganger.
Nova Scotia.
how many of you guys have like extra trackers in
Aren't
Chris
one of them,
Peters'
like-
ass right now? Just human
Aren't
tracker.
one of them like in the same province as Chad right now? I don't even know where's Chad, Saskatchewan or something.
Chad, Saskatchewan.
Chad Peters?
Chris Peters, like Manitoba.
Because
so-
I don't
Yeah.
see Chris Peters moving anywhere because he doesn't make any money because he's a bum and a loser.
Oh, but he's doing so well in his metal show.
No, he's not.
I thought he's an entrepreneur and he's
But
like
he
all on his
is.
own. Are you suggesting that he's not
Entrepreneur.
as successful as
He
he makes
gets-
himself out to be?
He gets shit numbers. Listen, I'm a person who gets shit numbers, but I know shit numbers when I see shit numbers, and it's like you got to really like get like hundreds of thousands of people to be doing successful on YouTube. He ain't anywhere near there.
But he's got 3,000 people, almost 4. Come on now.
Yeah, a lot of them are
That's
probably
paid
fake
subs.
but-
That's
by
a
the
lot
way.
of them are paid
All right,
subs.
that's
Yeah.
a lot of paid subs. All right, we're keeping this
Anyways.
thing offline. So I know nobody cares because nobody's really watching except for 3 people, which is probably us looking at the chat.
No,
Tune in
Brandon's
next
still
week.
here.
We're
Hi,
going to be
Brandon.
doing. Tune in next week. We're going to be doing more of these Christmas beers. So
Hopefully next week I can bring a beer that'll satisfy Carrie's Christmassy-ness.
satisfy that
Yeah.
craving. Something
I
that's
believe in
at
you.
a 10% or more barley wine.
I mean, I do have a barley wine I could have brought. It would be
Yeah,
something I've done before.
I will
but-
admit my beer was not great for a barley wine, but it was fully Christmas themed. Unlike
Agreed.
some
I
way.
mean, it did
You're
sound
full of crap.
interesting. Yeah,
It was
all
good.
right.
It
Have a
was
good
good.
night,
It was-
folks. We're taking this
Yeah.
offline.
I mean, it's basically Dan the beer.
Dark.